Welcome to an introduction to control structures. This lecture is going to be brief, but we're basically going to go over what a control structure is. So, what is a control structure? A control structure or control structures are statements that support repetition and conditional execution. So, a simple way of putting this is, up to now, all the programs we've done, it goes in order. The program is executed line by line. But in the case of control structures, it's a way of non-sequential execution order. So basically that means that we're not going to be going down line by line, that there won't be an exact sequence for the execution. And that's because you'll be supporting repetition and conditional execution, which means that there'll be different conditions that determine whether a statement is executed or not. So some statements in your program could end up not being executed depending on conditions. And that also support repetition, which means that basically repeating the same statement and executing it multiple times, that could occur as well. So this is a non-sequential order, which means that it's not following a standard sequence of going down. And the different types of control structures there are decision-making control structures and iteration control structures. So decision-making control structures are for conditional execution, where there's a condition and that determines if some statements are executed. And an example of this can be seen through the if statements, which we'll be going over. And then control structures also support repetition. So iteration is a synonym for repetition, and we'll be looking at the while and for loops, which will show us some iteration. And with iteration, you're repeatedly executing the same statement multiple times. And control structures are really a central part of Java. They basically form the logic, and in big programs they're a really big part of it, make up the majority of it. So it's important to have a good idea of the logic most importantly, and the syntax will come to you with practice.